and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of our Getae campaign, where we are ravaging the Balkans with an intense fury of javelins, phalanxes, and other Getae instruments of war. We have made a reasonable amount of progress thus far, the last 3 episodes of this campaign, as in we've conquered Dacia, conquered Panonia recently, and while we may find ourselves at war with the Boii as well as 2 other factions in Reita at Noricum and the hollowed shell of the Nori Gallic peoples, I think that we're in a pretty solid spot here. Despite all of those conflicts, despite that uneasiness, I think that we're in a pretty good spot here as the Getae, particularly because the Nori here are besieged by the king of the Swebi, and they should just get wiped out by that besieging army. At least that's my guess. It's my prediction here, and I'm quite confident in it, to be completely honest. Although, to be fair, this rebel army may be successful in its endeavors to destroy me in Segestica, so I may just have to disassemble or dismiss those buildings. Simultaneously, though, I am a little bit concerned with the Boii here. I mean, actually, now I'm a lot concerned now that we've cleared up that fog. We've witnessed that army, because now it seems like the Boii actually have something decent. They have some forces that are capable of doing damage to these, so I have to be a little bit wary of those damn Boii. But yeah, so my plan as of right now, though, is to fight the Boii. Like, that was what I was thinking about in my downtime. I was thinking the most prudent action I could possibly take is to go and fight the Boii. They only have 1 city, and that city does have gold. They're also a faction that is at war with many other peoples, so I was hoping that maybe they'd be a little bit too distracted to focus their armies onto me. And I really hope that that ends up being true, because those 2 armies could go take a kink. My settlement up here in the north. No doubt they could take a kink. The other thing, though, is that to trigger my reforms, I need to fight the Scythians, and I need to fight the Romans. Now, the Romans, of course, I don't want to pick a fight with just yet. The Scythians, on the other hand, I very much could, and I think I'd be successful if I did. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I might just be delaying something I should be doing. Like, maybe I should just be going into Olbia and taking Sarmatia for my own purposes. So I'm not so sure. Also don't know why Dacia Thracian influence is falling so much in this province, particularly because we do have buildings in this province that should be boosting it quite a bit. But regardless, it looks like this army, we're in a defensive formation. Now we're not. Now we can go and just clean them up. I really don't rate them all that highly, so let's auto-resolve it. No point of playing a pointless battle. And now things are looking a lot better. Now, also here in Segestica, I wanted to make this settlement kind of like the epicenter of public order in this province. So, with that being said, actually, you know what? Everything here looks kind of fine. Yeah, I think that we're good for buildings over here. I just have to keep on upgrading what I have. Otherwise, yeah, the Boii, it would take a little bit of time for them to get over to a kink, so I'm just hoping I can maybe, like, build up this army in the meantime. But that's very hardcore, maybe. I do need to swing this army into position in order to actually go conquer up north. Now, diplomatically, I am also wondering whether there might be
but may
something I need to do.
Greetings.
Here. Maybe.
Now.
Okay. I mean, I could go ahead and take that.
Greetings,
Meanwhile,
friend.
what about these guys? Yes. All right.
Disagreement.
Alrighty. I mean, that's kind of nice.
Are you brave?
What about these
Gods of the
particular factions? Okay, nothing saying.
I welcome you
done.
on behalf of the Senate.
The Romans, I obviously
and give ear
do
to
not
your
wish
words.
to fight anytime soon. It looks like
Romans thrive in
could
foreign ventures only
potentially-
when such works are subject to sensible Roman direction.
Could potentially take on a non-aggression pact. if I play my cards right. That's what I'm seeing there, so... Maybe in the future. But we'll just have to see. Those trade agreements that we signed with the Illyrians, as well as some nomadic Scythians, were very much a clutch. Very, very, very much a clutch. If I have to be entirely honest, I absolutely adored those agreements because they will put me in a somewhat safer position. As for those many wars I mentioned, the Boreais found themselves, and clearly, we just went into Casagurgis, into the Swebi lands, into the wild, dark forests of Germania, and they got their asses whipped, as I kind of expected. Like, I always thought in Rome too, the Germanic factions are better than the Celtic factions, generally. I always rated them higher. I think they have a much more interesting toolbox, and the Celts are kind of like almost this generic barbarian faction.
Shall we hack at each other until our enemies can gorge themselves on warriors' flesh? Or would it be peace?
In all honesty, I expect the Nori to just not exist soon. Like, I expect the Swebi to take their settlements, take their last settlement at Norea. I expect that to happen. At least that's what my hope is. Did it not happen?
How can to work then?
I mean, the Boia had 2 armies, and now they have 1. So it does look like they lost. But what happened over here? I don't know. I don't know. I may have actually made a mistake. You know, honestly, I may have made a mistake by not going for that peace treaty. But I'm not so sure. We'll make a public order thing. So it costs quite a bit of money, but I think it will be worthwhile. Meanwhile, what about this force? You know, it looks like we're recruiting men as we go, so I'm not too upset with that. What about the Getae? Have we built up a reasonably strong population here? No, we haven't. I just didn't see anything that would be useful for military recruitment. I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, it's kind of tough because I can move my men more inwards in order to get more like warriors and stuff to recruit from. Because you guys can see over here, like I barely have any warrior population to draw from near the Getae. On the other hand, though, I could just recruit from my freedmen population. Freedmen are not great. I mean, I could get the Getae youths, which upon reflection, they don't have like horrendous stats or anything. Could of course get more Sika skirmishers. Can always get Sika skirmishers. Wherever you are, Sika skirmishers tend to be in abundance. Yeah, the majority of my warriors, I think we're concentrated around Malvia still, or... Yeah, around Malvia. Maybe in Pelandava. Yeah, they're like 90% in Malvia.
For the tribe! Are you ready to do your duty to the tribe?
Yeah, even if I get the cavalry, it's dependent on warriors to train to cav, so... Okay, I mean, I'm just drawing from freedmen. It's the cheapest way to get an army, and, like, what else can I do, you know? What else can I do? I just don't feel that I have the capacity to draw from a different population. What about Panonia? Is there anything I can recruit here? No. Basically no options. It's kind of sad, but basically no option. Melee attack, that's kind of cool, and plus movement speed, that's also pretty useful. Alright. I like what I saw there. And once again, will the Romans entertain a non-aggression pact?
I welcome you on behalf of the Senate, and give ear
I
to
don't
your
have as
words.
much money to offer them this turn, but
The Republic's
I
defense.
thought it prudent to maybe attempt something like that. And yeah, what can I do? There really wasn't a whole lot of options just because of the pathetic population that I have on display over near Zermezagatuza. Just a bunch of freedmen, barely a warrior amongst them. But it is what it is. It's not like we're a particularly prosperous faction financially just yet. Our public order in Panonia needs to improve dramatically for that to be true. But there we have it. The Boii actually score a pretty significant victory against the Swebi. And the thing is that I believe that they're in the same province, so it might end up being... It might become a necessity to go to war against both, but I feel like Boii intervention here might have made the Swebi stop their siege of Noricum, or Norea? I forget. Oh, the Rieti. The Rieti have sallied out. This is not what I wanted. Panonia, it's such a central province geographically, but I could see why they came. Korea is not super duper far. They have agreements with factions nearby. It makes perfect sense.
Gods of the afterlife.
Damn it! I really wanted to see what was going on in Dorea. In all honesty, I really wanted to see. Because, sure, I can make peace with these guys, but what about these guys?
Are you brave or foolish, or just mad? Well, speak. I will listen before I turn you inside out.
Turn me inside out sounds somewhat sexual.
Ready for orders.
Okay,
For the tribe.
I don't know. Like, I could quit all of these wars, or I could just go for the kill here against the Boii. Considering that this is their only province, and once again, it's a province with gold. Makes a whole lot of sense for me to just pounce on it. This army has some weak links in it, some visible weak links, like this Celtic spear. Actually, never mind. I was about to say with their shit. They're not. They're not. They're okay. They're reasonably strong units. What about this short sword warriors? They're good as well. 1 armor is their weakness, but like they have decent stats. It's not like my men are killers. It's not like my men are super duper good. There's a lot of potentialities I need to anticipate here. A lot of potential problems. But you know what? This is called Total War for a reason, boys. This game's not called Half-Arsed War. It's not called Cautious War. Rome Cautious War. Expand slowly and methodically. It's not that. That was called Total War. So, Total War we shall perform. Now, are there any mercenaries worth having in this province? Not just yet. And I believe in my recruitment capabilities are pathetic or close to none. I mean, I can get these Alpine levies with 11 armor and 37 morale. They're not exactly the world's finest troops. In fact, it'll make the men that are sent against me look tough in comparison. I also can't move this army close enough to another settlement to draw from their population. So I have to deplete the population of Zermezegatuza if I want anything. I think it's like a necessary evil at this point. It'll take a while for them to recover, but they shall recover. They shall recover, one way or another. Yeah. Let's do it. One elite. 2 of these. 2 of these. Ah, oh, it hurts. It hurts to deplete my warrior class so substantially.
Let them cower.
Now we walk into Boii lands.
Gods of the afternoon.
We can go for a peace treaty here, though. And now that we're at peace with these guys, perhaps...
My time is better spent feasting
the
and
will consider
hunting
it.
than listening. So be quick with your chattering.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe they would like entertain a peace because I made peace with their allies, but no. They're too close to Gestica. They smell the blood in the water. Okay, they're like hungry sharks here. But even once we do take Gestica, my second stack, which will be newly formed right there in Dacia, homespun army, mostly of freemen, but now with some warriors from Zermezegatuza. The budding warrior class of Zermezegatuza has been strategically harvested by myself for this war. They're going to help me march into Gestica. Although, who knows if the Rieti will actually go for the kill here. They might not have the movement capacity, or they might hesitate a little bit. either way, I'll have a full stack ready to take them on, and even if it's not the best stack, can make use of them.
Lot.
And,
now
another faction joins the fray. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Now, what can I do about it other than take them on? And yeah, there's no winning this. Because Garrison was not even remotely ready for such an affair. And this will probably cause some sort of public order disaster in Panonia, I guess. Yep, public order disaster achieved.
Getting on our way.
We'll get these guys into Panonia, and then, I don't know, we can... I'm actually happy we only sacked this, because now we can at least take back the money we invested here. And ooh, Istros was there. I thought the Boii would at least like send their army back towards the settlement to hold it down, but no, they don't. They actually just leave it open. It's open season. And unless the Boii have taken a Swebi settlement, which I really doubt they have, I think there's like a 0% chance it's actually happened. This is their last settlement, so we should be able to take these guys out. Now I want to make this clean. I want to make this battle as clean as possible. Because yes, the Boii should come back at me with their full stack army and try their best to recover their settlement. I mean, why wouldn't they? So my belief is that we actually make this as clean as possible by being as aggressive as possible. I want to just send a long line of Falksmen forward here. A nice line of Sika skirmishers behind them, cavalry in the back, just kind of as like a utility belt style instrument. Like I want my cavalry to just kind of dart in and, you know, sure up a flank, throw some javelins here and there, throw some arrows here and there, just really be this thing that allows me to clean up the battle quicker. And yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to overwhelm this petulant little infantry line with my Falxes. Which I think are my Getae Falxmen. They're ready for that. A lot of them have bountiful experience here. They also have upgraded Falxes. We have our coppersmiths in Dacia working overtime to outfit my warriors with the finest farm equipment for their battles, and let's march everyone up. And of course, we do have a nice line of
our hidden units
Getae nobles in the back. Just a nice retinue of 300 elite Getae spearmen with armor, just in case everything fails. They're kind of like the Getae Triari. Yeah, we have to, at this point, pounce on the enemy like hungry wolves. And Falx units being massive, oversized
our hidden units have been discovered.
225 men charging like cavalry and just ravage the enemy. Although javelins and arrows are going to make us a very hard-going battle. Ugh, I'm seeing a lot of Falxmen fall. But at least the archers at this point, they need to fall back.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Yeah, my Falxmen have at this point reached the main Boii lines, and I don't know, I'm just hoping that they can crack through. I'm hoping that they can abrasively charge through the enemy here. Look at some flanks, and let's go ahead and move cavalry onto the flanks here as well, because of course I do want to clean up the enemy archers when I'm able to. This Falxman just kind of hit a nice rear charge. I think that'll break the enemy personally, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and send a couple of Sika skirmishers just to kind of shore up my ranks a little bit here, just make things a little bit easier for me to hold. See a couple of cracks on the flanks, so we can...
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Go. Yeah, these archers, they were getting chased. Now we can turn around and fire, but we have cavalry nearby, so should go well.
One of our units is
just have to make sure that the Falxmen that I have, who are like effectively flanking, I need these guys to actually hit the enemy in a good way, you know, just make sure that they're targeting the enemy as effectively as possible. There we have 179 losses ain't terrible. It ain't that good, though, at the same time. Because the men I lost, again, they're Falksmen, right? They are my primary killing tool as the Getae. But how do you use a front line of Falksmen without taking a lot of damage? You can't. You gotta use them on the flanks if you want them to be more effective, but simultaneously, if you have them on the flanks, then your sick of skirmishers are gonna take a lot of damage. Of course, the way I could remedy this whole thing is I could just replace the sick of skirmishers with a line of shield wall. You know, have some nice spearmen. Not like these noble spears, but like the Getae shield wall spearmen. You know what I mean? That's like my personal little jest there. Like, we could have a nice Getae spear wall, kind of like the Alpine spear wall we're seeing out at the Celts. But yeah, not exactly the number one thing for me here. And there we have it. The Boii are gone as a faction. That's perfect. And Germanic levies. I'm just trying to see if there's like something really good here that we can recruit. In not really anything. Germanic hunters are kind of dope. You have a stalk of our prey and then pounce. Yeah, we'll completely dismantle this because I want gold, man. I want gold for days. And then we'll actually repair the healer because I want to put in one of those Dacian forts. Over here, we probably have a lot of slaves. Let's go sell slaves. I don't like large slave populations. They just destabilize your empire over time. Привет, бабушка.
Можно говорить?
Да, конечно.
Папа как?
Я не знаю, он не прилетел.
Не прилетел?
Ну, до сих пор нет.
А сколько часов ему лёд тут?
Мне кажется, может быть,
Часов 5, наверное.
больше.
Больше?
Ну, это...
Андрей, ну самолет вылетел отсюда?
Да, вылетел.
Вылетел?
Да.
Все. Ты на месте?
Да, конечно.
У тебя пульт в руках?
У меня все нормально, да.
У тебя все нормально?
11 мы будем выходить, бабушка.
Не слышу.
11 мы будем выходить через 30 минут где-то.
Я не понял, что ты говоришь.
Мы будем выходить через 30 минут.
Ну, рыбонька, я не пойду.
Зачем?
Я боюсь идти, там штормовой ветер.
Да, я посмотрел, ничего сейчас.
Ну, рыба, ну.
Да?
Завтра ты работаешь,
Да.
а послезавтра ты будешь дома. Мы с тобой послезавтра выйдем.
Да.
Пускай пройдет штормовой ветер.
Хорошо, посмотрим.
Да. А потом я жду, а вдруг позвонит, а мы с тобой где-то шляться будем.
Ну, понимаю. Да.
Давай. Все, девочка, давай. Я закрываю тебе.
Да.
А свет остается?
Да.
Давай.
Alright guys, excuse that particular interruption as we continue onwards here. So a nice one against the Boii. Nice victory against the Boii. And...
Thirsty for battle.
I mean, literally, I can't do anything about Segestica. I assume that the Reita are probably just gonna take it next turn. I don't quite like the position of the Lyrians either, especially because they've declared war against me in the past, but we do have trade agreements with them right now, so it's not terrible.
There's a good pork roast.
Swebi, they're actually okay with some trade.
My friend, be
The
well.
Lugi could as well. That actually is interesting, because... What about the Urb, whatever the crap they're called? Oh, I don't even have them discovered yet.
Come, let me...
And the Romans, they don't like me again. Well, where is this settlement? It's like over here. It's really far away. This province. Okay. I'm just trying to like figure out what the best way to expand is based on the map, boys. Cause like, okay, I could go. So I have this. yeah, as province, the only way to expand is kind of to go like this. Like, you have to take the capital here, which is Swebi controlled. Meanwhile, the Swebi, of course, they have probably 2 settlements in Swebia. I don't know, they could still take Nori. But right now they're happy with me. Like, I could totally just open up relations with them, and it'll be good.
Warriors, we cannot. Destination reached.
And I could just, like, get a dignitary here, and then just try to, like, just spam it. Spam orders. Actually, you know what? I really should, like, have a dignitary in every province that I control right now. Then, yeah, let's go ahead and get a spy.
What would you have of me?
For now, let's go run games. Then. Yeah, this looks right now.
Warriors all.
And what I'm gonna try to do here is just go for the trade agreements with the Germans.
Welcome, yet good and noble friend.
At the end of the day, like,
Yes, welcome. You have an honest tongue, and so I reject your offer. You speak well, but I fear the spirits do not approve. I cannot go. The gods will reach. There's a good pork roasting for you, and better ale and mead set aside. But
okay, fair enough. Got some good agreements there. So I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight the Germans, guys. Like, here's the thing. Basically, I don't want to fight anyone. Like, okay, how do I rephrase that? Like, it's not that I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to fight anyone new. We have our hands full with several wars right now. It was nice that we wiped the Boei out. That was a threat wiped out, taken out. Like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna overstate the importance of the enemies that I have. Like, a lot of them are pretty crappy, but simultaneously, I don't want to open up fronts against Celts and Germans simultaneously. I don't think the Dacians are gonna survive such a affair, particularly because I only have the capacity to sustain 2 full stack armies currently, and even with that, so somewhat precarious. And I'm really surprised the Reita don't just pounce on Segestica. It's really weird that they don't.
Ready for orders.
Gather round. Thirsty for battle. Deep our people. Our
Oh, whatever. We'll go administer things over here. We'll go ahead and wipe out this rebellion, because, frankly, that's the reason why we have the food shortage. One of them.
Getting on our way. Starting out.
And we'll get the gold, because I gotta get the gold, man.
merry meeting. How can I help?
They really have no choice but to continue my war against the Reita, I guess. I don't know.
Do not attempt to sweeten.
Are any of these factions
Speak quickly and
just not too excited
welcome.
about continuing fighting? I don't know, man. Like, why are they like this?
come.
I didn't do really
Let me-
anything to them other than declare war on their ally who actually made peace with me, so... Like, surely...
No, I can't. I could
Okay, so the Swebi did fail to take Korea. Variety of another army that's kind of coming up here as well.
Half of me.
Meanwhile, the Germans, I mean, we have a non-aggression pact with the Swebby, which, to be fair, maybe I'm a little bit stupid for thinking that that's actually a binding agreement, but I'm gonna treat it like it is, because that's more convenient. March his army through.
Ready for orders.
Now, we also have food problems, of course, so it's not like we have a ton of... It's not like we're gonna have great retainment of troops, but there's little I can do about it. Okay, turn over. What can I do? I sent my little boy, sent my army towards Segestica. It'll probably get there in like a turn. So those Rieti, those bloody barbarians, those Celtic scum, they need to anticipate the great hammer of justice descending upon their necks. Because we're coming for them, and we're coming for them hard, dude. We're coming for them hard and fast. But yeah, we'll have to see, boys. We'll have to see like what is going on. We have to figure out what is the problem. What is the great issue affront here? Other than Macedon expanding towards Nasos very subtly getting close to my border with the elite Hellenistic troops. There are a lot of troubles for us right now, boys. Although to be fair, just a turn ago, I would have considered it a luxury to have so many settlements, so it's not really that terrible, but same time, it's somewhat annoying. And you know what? We may have just lost our Imperium, actually. Or maybe not. Yeah, we did lose our Imperium. We have more governors than we're actually allowed to have, basically.
Of the forest. I am the knife.
Ready for battle.
I mean, we can go and take Segestica. At least we could try.
Thirsty for
I kind of want this army to go back to Dacia, if I'm going to be real.
your next command.
Settlement's going to have issues, though. Like Istros. Again. Can't take this guy. May have bit off a little bit more than I can chew with Istros, actually. I might have to let it rebel. It's like, do I really want to invite war? These guys are very friendly.
Greetings, friend.
Can maybe
I've
even get
called
an
for
alliance
good
out of
ale
them,
to
and
ease your throat
eventually,
and
anyway.
ripe women.
That's
Enter
like when you get
friend
into the
and
car with
speak.
like the weird coworker that turns out to be way more fucked up than you realize. It's like, alright, woman. I'm sorry, man. It's happened to me, bro. It's always like, what the? Bro, chill. But I swear, if you go to Taiwan. Stories for my life. Stories for my life. Right? That's all I can say. Yeah, let's see. What is this army composed of? I mean, frankly, it is. Okay, there are a couple of weaknesses here. Like, the short swords don't have any armor, neither do the naked swords. They do have some really good units too, but the spearmen are inflexible. And my army is full of pretty much slop. It'll be a tough battle, but I'm gonna play it out because I think I can win it, and I think I can go take back Panonia with that W. I mean, otherwise, I'm gonna go towards Sarmatia. I want to go take on Olbia. I want to destroy that settlement. I want to wipe him out.
Laying siege to their
But yeah, we already moved that army. And once we take this, we should get our Imperium back, so... Let's go plan. Let's go plan out, boys. It's a bit of a risk here. It's a bit of a risk. The enemy army is strong. But I have belief in my men. Now, my primary asset here are my javelins. I can't just commit to the fray. I need to use my javelins intelligently. I also can't just run in my Falxmen as I do with my main army. That is a luxury I cannot possibly afford in this particular bout. I need to keep them for like a decisive flank push and a flank push only. But let's go see how this settlement is based. Also, I can't really spread my men out too much. Like, I can't do like one like army here, one army here, because then the enemy could just charge one and ignore the other, and I don't have anything that can actually hold its own all too well. So that would be a bit of a problem.
Dacians!
But it looks like the enemy is kind of sallying out, no? Oh, and they have some slow-moving troops, which are gonna slow... Like, they're gonna come out piecemeal here. We're not gonna fully assemble. Is that what I believe is happening? Or is their cavalry just planning on holding this juncture? Having trouble reading their body language. No, they're not sallying out. Okay. I was getting a little bit hyped, because if he did, that would have been a massive mistake on behalf of the enemy, but it's okay. What I'm gonna do here is send in my sick of skirmishers to throw their javelins first, because at the end of the day, the shield wall and cavalry that they have here, as well as these Celtic skirmishers, they're reasonably good targets for my sick of skirmisher javelins, and I think I could just eviscerate these guys with some well-placed volleys. Sure, my men might take some archer fire, but honestly, my sick of skirmishers should be the subject of the enemy archer fire. So yeah, if we just align my sick of skirmishers in blocks. And there we go, come on boys, get into ranks! Follow your commanders, follow your orders, get into ranks, and now, boom! The javelins are cast. They should come in a hail of blood and gore. I saw some cavalry running. I could see some Celtic spearmen getting... Yes! These are some of the heavier hitters of this Celtic army, too. To have them destroyed like this. Yeah. Just maintain your shield wall. Surely it'll save you from hundreds of javelins. Dude, I'm so happy. How doth your nature's fire is the magnificent tapestry of existence. It is splendid, as you mentioned. But I absolutely am not willing to compare myself to a petulant, pathetic Roman general. Not when I am playing as such a superior people as the nations.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Actually, I take that comparison as an insult. Even the concept of that comparison, it irks me. I bite my thumb at you, Shakespearean fashion. I hope that you can forgive the humble insult, but it must be done, for I would never aspire towards emulating a Roman general. Such a pathetic people. There we have it. We used a lot of javelins here. Honestly, the spear wall of the Celts weathered it quite well. They weathered it pretty well. Even cavalry came back.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
To be fair,
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Dacians! Move it!
let's move these boys in. Let's move them into battle. I mean, there's really nothing opposing me here. At the choke point, just some damaged missile infantry, but of course, The Rieti still have many tools to throw at me. But you know what? I'll allow my Sika skirmishers, who I have an abundance, to absorb all of his ammunition. Every single javelin cast on my Sika skirmisher is one that will not be thrown at a falxman, at a professional warrior, at a cavalryman.
Infantry!
You know what, actually, let's just have my Sika skirmishers maintain a reasonable distance here. Come on, throw your men in. Meet me in battle, cowards. And let's throw some real skirmishers at the enemy. My Getae youths. And of course, we can start to get our actual warrior cast or warrior class towards the enemy.
Dacians!
I can see some short sword warriors. They're gonna absolutely demolish my Sika skirmishers. They're far finer melee fighters, but hoping I can maybe bait an overreaction on behalf of the Celts here, but no. No. They understand that they hold the advantage in this area, although
The men are wavering.
using all of his ammunition on my Sika skirmishers is hardly advisable. But I think I have to pull my Getae skirmishers back a little bit, because I don't think they'll arrive to the battlefield in time to actually
Our
utilize
hidden units have been discovered.
the space my Sika skirmishers have made. In fact, you know what? Let's try to withdraw these guys if I can. Nah, it looks like we're gonna get slaughtered. The enemy actually back off. Like, they don't chase my men. They don't chase my men, which would have been disastrous. Or do they?
Our hidden
They
units
send their
have been
cavalry
discovered.
to hunt, which makes perfect sense. Cavalry will go straight into some javelins here. Turn these guys off. I don't want to waste good skirmisher fire like my actual javelins. I can waste my infantry javelins, but not my far superior regular javelins. And then we'll send one more Sika skirmisher at these guys. Because these shield walls, they are thoroughly damaged. These are the ones that bore the brunt of my javelin storm at the beginning of the battle. My Sika skirmishers, they do armor penetrating damage, so considering that these guys are primarily, like, their primary skill is that they're armored, my armor penetrating Sika bearing Dacians should do pretty well, although
Our hidden units have been
not to
discovered.
say that my Dacians won't lose any men, but yeah, it should be a pretty effective battle for them, fight for them. I already managed to rout one of these Alpine hoplites. It's pretty good, of course. And out come the enemy's short swords, and this is where I throw in another unit. This is where I also
One of our units has used all its
go in on one of
ammunition.
my Getae youths. We can go pelt that unit with some javelins. Yeah, this is gonna be a to and fro. A chess-like to and fro. And they throw in more short swords. That means I can commit two Getae youths to pelting the short swords. And another Sika skirmisher.
Dacians!
Again, if they commit more resources, I commit more resources.
Melee warriors! Battle ready and eager! Orders! Skirmishers! Take aim! Missile warriors! Fire them!
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
And there we have it. I mean, so far it seems that my Getae youths, they're having a good impact on this fight. Short sword warriors will annihilate Sika skirmishers if left untouched, but so the javelins are hurting them quite a bit. Which makes sense. These short sword warriors, while great melee combatants, they have no armor. The enemy are gonna put more and more infantry into the fray in order to try to, like, combat this. More short sword warriors. That means I throw more Sika skirmishers in.
Tribesmen! Infantry!
Really happy that my Sika skirmishers aren't even, like, fully routing. They're just kind of falling back. taking pains to try to like make use of every javelin I can in this fight. But since the enemy are better at melee, I just want to ruin their troops with javelin fire before I throw my inferior combatants into the fray. You can see my Dacians are like stumbling into
One of
the
our
fight.
units has used all its ammunition.
Ah,
Skirmishers!
Getae youths, they're expending their ammo rapidly. But they've done a great amount of damage to these short sword warriors. In their depleted, damaged state, I think even my sick of skirmishers should be able to handle them relatively well. But some of these short sword warriors are unfortunately in better condition than others. You know what? The sick of skirmishers, they have reasonable stats, they have okayish weapons, they have more armor. Should be okay, but how come the enemy with their javelins? I wish I could like kind of wrap around with cavalry, but there's like literally no opportunity to do that. Go over here, if we have axe warriors. Well, axe warriors aren't the best against cavalry, actually. I mean, actually, I see maybe an opportunity.
We'll kill them all!
See maybe an opportunity. Send one unit of levies to maybe help the cavalry out, but I'm gonna try something on that front.
Infantry!
Let's throw in
We'll bleed for us.
2 more sick of skirmishers here.
Skirmishers!
Celtic bowmen have gotten 73 kills. Not ideal, but they should be out of ammo soon. Yeah, some of these sick of skirmishers are had it. Some of them are just gonna run. But I think I could say the same of their short swords. Like, they should be within pretty poor condition pretty soon. But yeah, now I'm thinking maybe we can win a little bit here on the flank. Those are heavy hitting men, dude. Those are pretty tough warriors. They still have her chosen sword too. Their sword followers. I'm gonna have to be very effective with my cavalry, man. It's gonna have to be a really, really, really hard fought one. Stupid levies, man. They need to run quicker. Run as if there's a sail at target.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
I've thrown in the vast majority of my sick of skirmishers. Not good. Look how many men are piling into this fray. I think I may have overcommitted a little bit.
Noble
But
horse!
you know what? I can start maneuvering with my cavalry.
Infantry!
Alpine Shield Wall has 46 kills and like almost no deaths. Let's run. Let's run from the field here.
Cavalry!
I don't want to just die on the front
Our
of
general is under
on
attack.
the front of spears
Caution!
as if like they're simple carrion or something.
Cut them down! Captain Slaugo! Ready to ride! Riders advance!
God, we got a little bit too close to those axe warriors.
Noble horse! Spears ready! Infantry! Scrappers
We'll keep
ready!
one unit in battle and then the rest just retreat.
Warriors! Spears!
Is the enemy gonna sally out now?
Melee warriors!
What is that retreat from the enemy axe warrior?
We'll kill them all!
Okay, we send our weaker cavalry in.
Scrappers ready!
And we run this one. To and fro we go.
Noble horse! Macaco!
Okay. We have the potential to score some kills here.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Okay, Celtic bowmen annihilated. And what about these Celtic Yes! Alright, come on, cut them down. Cut down to skirmishers. Harvest them before the javelins can fly out. Perfect. And now, punch through the rest of the settlement. See the axe warriors getting a little bit frisky here. But this is what I was hoping to do. I was hoping to maybe get like a hammer and anvil.
Noble horse!
Did we go out of the settlement?
One of our units has used all its
My
ammunition.
levies, who are garbage, by the way. My levies, who are garbage, we're gonna like hold this.
Quickly now!
Then we like outflank. Oh, Celtic Spirit Warrior rushes out. Well, you know what?
Orders!
Hammer and anvil without. Hopefully that works.
Elite cavalry! Advance at speed!
Okay, my men are losing decisively. Fuck, already shaken? Oh, I really overestimated my levy's ability to hold. Come on. Need to get my general nearby. Fuck!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Ah, my cavalry. I think my cavalry tactic failed. Yep, I think my cavalry tactic failed. Meanwhile, they're withdrawing their heavier spear units.
Ready for battle!
My Sika skirmishers are not enthusiastically running it at all. My cavalry tactic utterly failed, though.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Yep. Really did hinge on me using the wrong spear unit. I should have used my nobles. I just didn't want to sacrifice them potentially, but hopefully we could just destroy this cav unit, though. I mean, obviously Celtic light cavalry. These guys are more like for scouting purposes, and we're going up against my Dacian heavy noble cavalry, so we are killing quite a few of their number, but they're just like holding on for dear life, which is annoying.
Elite cavalry!
You know what? We have cavalry here. We can always withdraw. We can always like withdraw from the fight here. Keep like my general in play.
As you say!
Just like try to end this unit.
Battle
But
ready and eager! Noble horse! Cut them!
fuck! I need to like charge a stupid cavalry a second time. Such a haphazard affair. There we go. Okay, now my cavalry can withdraw, because I think it can.
Aye!
Okay, this archer unit already has knives out. Knives out means that. What the hell? Cavalry withdraw. Cavalry withdraw. Come on. Ah, we're being chased by another light cavalry. Okay, I need to go do something else on the field to avoid complete destruction of that flank. Still have Alpine shield wall guarding this juncture so hard. But you know what? The Alpine shield wall are kind of like behind some of the men there, so.
Noble horse! We have no fear! Gotcha! Aye! As you say!
Okay, we're throwing in some of our better infantry now.
Infantry!
I'm trying to like micromanage this, but I feel like tactically this is just not working out. Making so many poor decisions. It's just like, ugh. Maybe this counter charge could work. To be fair, the Celtic army I am facing is better than the army I have. This is like a very bad Dacian army I made in order to save money.
Horsemen!
Also, to be fair, like some of the things I'm doing, I'm just just not executing correctly. Like I know what I'm doing. It's just,
Our hidden units have been
I don't know,
discovered.
when I charge in, it just doesn't. I just don't charge very effectively. Or I might get stuck on like a building detail or something like that. You know, just regular total war stuff.
Elite cavalry!
My cavalry are gonna be fighting to the last man, though. Probably gonna lose my general. You know what? I'm always just charge into some Dacians, and I feel like I've used a lot of enemy skirmishers here.
Scrappers, ready! Break off!
Our general has fallen.
Fuck!
Put them down! We'll kill them all! Ready!
And my cavalry's gone.
Warriors, ready! Ready for battle! Battle ready! Infantry! Melee warriors!
Tribesmen!
Infantry!
I'm gonna throw in like a couple of sick skirmishers to try to balance out the ranks here a little bit. And they still have javelins. I'm working so hard to get rid of the enemy javelins.
Get out!
We hunger for blood and battle.
Infantry! Odabra! Infantry! Warriors! Ready! You have our spears! Make your target!
Celtic youths, they get the chance to actually throw their javelins. I mean, I still had some jabbies left. But getting my general killed on a mostly useless flank was definitely not that good.
Orders!
Definitely not a very good strat. Ah, my men broke. My men just broke. My men just broke.
Take charge! We hunger for...
I have to concede defeat. Only way I can even save any of my men, dude. Only way I can save some of them. Damn it! Damn. No. I'm so sad, bro. I was supposed to be a win. Ugh. Man, we killed some of the enemy, but just not enough. Yeah, I need to balance out this army, though. To be honest, this wasn't composed all too well. And I'm not blaming my loss on that. I made some poor decisions in that battle, particularly with my general, but still. It's not too good.
Fall back! Thirsty for battle! We cannot! Getting on our way!
Well, if he does end up attacking me in Segestica, we at least have some troops to try to counter it. And yeah, I'm gonna let Istros get taken. Even though it does have gold, it's still like not that good. Damn, dude. Kind of blows. It really blows. I'm gonna be completely honest. But anyway. What to do? What to do? So Gestica seems to be a bit of a fortress here. We could send our main army over there to try to destroy it. To try to take it back. I mean, I feel like I kind of have to apply all of my power towards that one aim. Which is such an important thing. But the Germans will eventually take out the Nori, which will cut off the Raieti's ability to pursue. Yeah, I don't want to fight this battle, but I will if I have to. It looks like I have to. Damn it. The only positive thing about this is that my Falxmen more or less escaped alive. We do have some Thracian sellswords entering our service here, and these guys have better armor than most of my Sika-bearing troops. And like, they're all in all just like a decent troop. All mercenary troops tend to be reasonably good. You know, if you're going to make being a professional killer your goal, you better be good at it. You know, if you're gonna make it your career, you better be good at it. The problem is the Raieti are joined by an allied army of 1,080 men of decent quality, so it's gonna make it hard. The positive thing though is that we're just gonna go fucking rush the hill here, and they're gonna have to attack me because they're the aggressors. So good luck. Good luck, to be honest. That's like the main thing. That's the main thing here. It's gonna be that. Sellswords will disposition behind
Enemy
me.
reinforcements
I'll throw them
approaching.
in wherever they could be best used or best utilized. Actually have these guys like right here. Some bowman support and my general. We just have to like run. Just have to run the general in. He'll stand in the back. He's like a heavy Dacian spearman here with a shield wall formation. So these guys are basically like barbarian hoplites, like Vikings that fight in a disciplined shield wall. Nice plate army, but looks sick, dude. They look like Proto-Slavic type units. It looks so cool, but and those are the reinforcements. These are the reinforcements. Every single unit in this army is a good unit. It's tough. That's really tough. I didn't realize they're gonna come from here.
Orders! Prepare to attack! Ready! Kill! Cut down! Charge! Orders! Loose! Now! Warriors, ready! Orders! Battle! Ready! Dacians! Ready! Get forward! We'll kill them all! Equal! Unite! Warriors, ready! We will pierce their hearts! Break up!
Our
This-
general is under attack.
This grouping really does make things more complicated. I'm gonna be honest. But also, these cavalry units bit off way more than they could possibly chew. They charge to their deaths here. And if these guys go to join these guys, that's best case scenario, because they're giving me the hill. I have to be concerned about the position of my Celts here. Bowman and oops. I thought that we'd actually routed that cavalry unit, but we didn't. But you know what? We combine on these guys. Perfect. And then we go just combine on these guys. Perfect. Just want to get rid of his calves so we just don't have to worry as much about our flank. Having these guys at our rear is super duper annoying. But yeah, let's have these guys pull up on the flank now. That's where we wanted them from the onset. And yeah, hopefully we can eliminate that cavalry. Yep, we're gone. Perfect. Only negative thing is that they killed 7 of my general's bodyguard, which is annoying as hell. But we have another genius cavalry charge from the enemy. They just decide, why don't we test whether the Sika skirmishers can live up to their name and skirmish effectively? Turns out the answer is they can. And let's go ahead and use these guys as anti-cavalry men.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Like, my cavalry is gonna lose against these guys in prolonged melee, but once my general kind of gets in here as, you know, a nice heavy spear unit, we can start eliminating the Celtic cavalry systematically. I mean, you can see their numbers just dwindling. The Rieti really think that they're superior horsemen to the men of Dacia?
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Absolutely not. Kidding. Our dance of diplomacy has gone actually more eloquently than you suppose. We have non-aggression pacts with the Germans.
One of our units
some
has used all its
Scythian
ammunition.
factions. Like, it's not like we are like allies, but we've built a nice string of non-aggression pacts to keep us out of being in too many wars. You know what I mean? Like, we've kind of secured our flanks. Our fortunes are somewhat
One of our
secure.
units has used all its ammunition.
However, there are certain Celtic factions that we've pissed off beyond needs, including these guys. They will fight us to the last man.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
That was, yeah, probably not the most tactful thing. In any case, I need to hard focus on this particular battle because the enemy are coming in hot here and don't have too many lethal tools to use here. Not too many decisive instruments of warfare. So I need to be
One of our units has used all its
careful
ammunition.
how I deploy my men here. I mean, I really was hoping that this attack here on the shield wall would be more effective, but for now they're surviving. I was really hoping we just demolish these men, but their armor is holding. We're actually getting quite a few kills, and wasn't quite like that. My general has gone into combat. Looks like these naked swords, they're gonna take a pretty severe beating. Well, they might like that. they might enjoy the severe beating I'm about to institute on them, and then meanwhile we
The
charge
enemy
this.
general is dead.
Oh, that is very fortuitous. Oh, I don't know how. I guess it was probably the general of the second army that was deployed in. We need to reinforce our center with whatever haphazard troops we have. Oh man, these Falksmen.
One of our units has used all its
slaughtered.
ammunition.
Take their heads! Spear nobles!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
We hunger
Come on. I need to rout at least one of these stupid spearmen. If I can get rid of them, then our fortunes increase dramatically. Because these are the guys that can basically hold their center, hold the enemy's center afloat. If I can be rid of them, then the rest of their army is rather valuable. These guys are akin to hoplites, so obviously they're a very stable force on the battlefield here.
Warriors, move out! Cut them, warriors!
That's what we're gonna do. We'll hammer the enemy center with a nice flank charge. Meanwhile, this tiny little unit of Falksmen, we're gonna use them to counter the enemy axemen. We actually get a charge on them, they don't get a charge on us, so this is gonna be a pretty steady dismemberment of his axe units. Our general is doing pretty well, but could be
Our
better.
men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Charge! Warriors ready! Pull back! Warriors! Surrender! Infantry!
Stupid Alpine phalanx just resisting for so long. Finally! We need to go send our better equipped mercenaries into the fray here.
Spear
Spear wall.
Make them bleed!
Spearmen.
We hunger for blood and battle! Celts! Warriors!
Desperately need to reinforce my general, who's gonna struggle.
Warriors eager for blood!
Our men flee the field
Ah,
of
dude,
battle.
my Falxman
This
runs.
is a shameful display.
They're as close to professional warriors as I have. We're getting pushed back here. We're losing ground. Foundation arms are failing. Narrator, why do your ancestors have to be such piss poor fighters in early game? Why? Sure, I may have recruited extensively from my peasant class to save money, but why? It's their fault. It's not my fault. It's their. If my Raphia warriors or my Falxmen, if they come back to the battlefield, then I have a chance. I also can't extricate my general because
Our men flee the field of battle.
he's fighting too many men. They'll just chase after him and cut him down. Try to pull him out. Meanwhile, most of these guys are just skirmishers, so they don't do very well. My Thracian mercenaries are losing combat, although they've killed so many men that at this point I can't really expect anything else out of them. Slowly but surely my skirmishers are failing. For light posture, they're just not able to stay in the fight. We do have one unit of Sika skirmishers coming back to the field. Perhaps this flank charge might be decisive here. If I can just like rout these guys, then I have a chance, but it'll have to be a really humongous rout.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a
Kind
shameful
of rally
display.
their men. Maybe that'll work out for a little bit here. But I don't know, man. These spear warriors, they have put up such an epic display, such an epic resistance here that I don't really think we're gonna crack him.
Our
Yeah,
men flee the field of
Fortunately,
battle.
this battle is rather
This is a shameful
conclusive
display.
in it being a failure. I mean, some of our units managed to perform quite well, but as a whole, my leadership failed in this
Our
battle.
men flee the
I guess honestly, out of all the campaigns I've
Field of
played so
battle.
far, this is the one I've lost the most battles in, which is actually kind of nice. It is nice to be challenged. Dude, I find myself harboring deep-seated desire for universal approbation, as it would greatly facilitate my trading endeavors with my esteemed peers. After all, who wouldn't want to be the charismatic protagonist in the grand bazaar of life, deftly navigating the intricate web of social exchanges while ensuring everyone is thoroughly enamored with my presence? One must admit, trading goodwill is every bit as essential as trading goods. I mean, absolutely. However, you know, if you're loved by all, what'll ultimately happen is people will resent that, causing them to dislike you. It's almost like this, it's almost like a paradox in all honesty. Because at the end of the day, if you're liked by, if someone likes you, but then also one of your enemies likes you, then they stop liking you. Simple. So ultimately, it'll never happen. There'll always be issues. Always be problems with that. Regardless. We lost a member of a rival political party, which... Actually, in theory, they should hate me, but they actually like me the most because these are just a particularly agreeable political parties. So, guess not the end of the world. So let's just increase tax collection. Simultaneously...
Deep peace to you.
I don't know. How do I best do this? I mean, we could bring my primary army into the field here to try to take back Segestica. I just have to focus around Segestica. That's really gonna be the great focus of this campaign for now, anyway. I don't know what's best to do here. perhaps we shall... We're draining so much of our warrior class too that it's like, if you drain your warrior class too much, then you end up not having them in the future. And I could literally, the only settlement where the warrior class is growing at an appreciable rate is Malva. So if I recruit too many warriors, then I'll just have them nowhere. So Kink barely has any, Singadon barely has any. Of course, Sarmezagatusa has close to no men of a fighter's stature. Never does Pelinvena, which is odd. It should, like, her warrior class should be growing, but it's really the freedman's class that is. But I need an army that's actually capable of fighting reasonably well. What is my faction called? Could go for this Ticina fellow. Let's get him in a Getae foot guard. We need infantry that's capable of handling itself here. Let's get these guys. Or this guy. Four Sika skirmishers. Some horse archers. I need to make an army capable of fighting. I can't just pinch pennies here and then be surprised when my armies fail. Can't do that anymore. That's stupidity. The Drissian
flapping
kingdom.
tongue that speaks. I do not think.
I would
welcome
actually-
you, worthy speaker.
I would like
I
some
listen
sort of
because your
agreements with
people
them,
are
however,
known to have honor.
They appear to be a covetous faction, which makes sense. But they're also at war with the Romans and the Macedonians simultaneously, so perhaps it's not a good idea to court them as allies. It could be trouble down the road. At least that's what I anticipate. But I really do want to be able to, like, finish up this conflict. Finish up this conflict with the Raeti and finally take back Panonia. It's like such a stupid city to be fighting so much over, but like I never anticipated these guys would even come into my province. I was saying that there's geographical challenges with them getting towards me, so it's just a fake war. It's a Cold War. Turned out to be fake. Turned out to be fake news. At least what came out of my mouth. So to better position my spies, like I've been fighting this war in such a haphazard way purely because I've underestimated my opponent. And I need to rectify these errors. I need to rectify them. Now, as I predicted, we lose Istros, whatever. It's like unfortunate, but what can I say? Nothing to really be done about it. And yeah. Oh man. Lose 2 trade agreements because of it?
How can I assist you? Well met. What do you wish of me? That is not possible. I am a sage of the forest. assist you.
Okay, plus tax rate is good. What about my spies? Like, where are these fools? Where are my 2 spies?
Well met.
Ready for battle.
A merry meeting.
How can I help?
Okay, like this spy, I wanted to go send towards the Scythians, because that was my next point of conflict.
Get to it, men.
I don't know why these guys are losing men. And they shouldn't be diseased because we have excellent sanitation in Dacia. So I think it's just an optical illusion. Like, I don't think we'll actually lose men.
On the move, lads.
Okay, where are my other spies though?
Well met.
Yeah,
Yes,
that one's
the
heading towards
drive.
Dacia.
I am the knife,
Okay, these guys, this spy is very close by. Let's see.
moving unseen.
Okay, the Rieti appear, but they don't. It doesn't look like we're confident in actually holding that
Ready
settlement,
for
which is
orders.
awesome. Perhaps we can get the better of the Rieti now.
Are you ready to do your duty to the tribe?
Steam Sir Orca Gaming, I beseech you to unveil the enigmatic art of diplomacy as it pertains to our beloved game. My current grasp resembles that of a bewildered cat chasing its own tail. Any guidance would be most illustrious. Well, my bewildered feline friend. It's very simple. When you look upon a faction, you can see whether they like you or not, and there's definitely like a logic to it. Like, if you take a military action against someone's enemy, like in this case, you see military actions against the Boei as the top thing that they approve of, then they'll like you more. If you make treaties with their enemies, then they don't like it. So, yeah, you want to attack a person's enemies, and you want to make treaties with their friends. Simple as that. Or make treaties with them. Like, if you sign a non-aggression pact, or you start trading, they like you more. By using diplomats? Oh, okay. I mean, there's different things that you can do. Like, you can go on a family member. Like, if you look at your family tree, like, say my wife. Can send her on a diplomatic mission. To, like, a faction here. Like, say, the Romans. I send her. She's gonna go to the Romans. She might get killed by the Romans. But if she doesn't get killed by the Romans, then she'll boost relations. So that's the type of thing. You're kind of like rolling a dice when you do that. It's kind of like a gambling mechanic. Like, it could end up
quickly
really
and
good.
well.
It could end up really bad.
The gods will.
You could cause a diplomatic incident when you send a diplomat over. Yeah, it's not guaranteed it's going to improve, but most of the time it does. But it is a toss of a coin, effectively. But that is true.
Ready for orders.
It is a toss of a coin, unfortunately. I have to just end this turn. There's really not gonna. There's really no moves for me to make. I really do hope that army in Malva doesn't like randomly lose men in the winter. So diplomacy is useless. Conquer them all. I mean, conquest is best, especially because at the end of the day, like, you could have a long-term alliance with a faction that lasts many turns, and they'll just like randomly turn against you once you've grown too large, or once they have decided to covet your territory. Like, at the end of the day, you can't really trust anybody in this cutthroat world. So at the end of the day, if you just go and conquer, if you have the force to, just do it. Diplomacy is basically something that you use when you're too weak. Like, when you're too weak to conquer them, and they are too weak to conquer you, then you make an uneasy treaty in order to both feel somewhat more secure. Now, you can trade. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna trade with factions that you border. That's the thing, because factions that you border are gonna, like... You see, look at this. Consequence, your diplomat has been wounded and had to return empty-handed. You see that? My wife has been wounded. Hopefully she was not with child. Is there anything here? Hellenic factions. +2 public order looks pretty good. +10% research looks pretty good, actually. I mean, like, I'm sure that there are ways to boost trading. To be fair, I'm not really that apt at, like, some of the finer aspects of his game. I'm not gonna claim to be 16k from trade only. I mean, there are, okay, like, in theory, I mean, at least from, like, my understanding, right? Like, there are buildings that boost trade quite considerably.
I am a sage of the forest.
Right? Like, there are buildings that boost trade. If you establish good diplomatic relations, then yeah, you can get buffs to your trade income. There are ways to make it more effective, I suppose. This is from 6 years ago. And it says from the David et Impera mod, that also matters, because the mechanics and balancing in this mod are different than the base game as well. So you also have to consider that too, dude. What's possible in the base game may not be possible in this modded version. That's all I can really say about that. Okay, well the Rieti have... I mean, they worked so hard to take the settlement and now they've left it bare. I don't know if that was just because... you know, they have trouble closer to home, so they have to kind of abandon their distant conquests, but... So again, really, my objective here is just destroy the enemy. I'm talking about the normal game without DLCs. Well, I think that this would be possible in Divinity Impera as well. Like, I've seen on, like, Divinity Impera Discord server, like the Discord server for this mod, that people get crazy trade incomes, but it might be a different mechanic than the base game. Because this game just has really different buildings, and, like, a lot of things are very different in this mod. Also, I have my Falxmen behind my Sick of Skirmishers in this battle, because I don't want to lose too many Falxmen here. I don't have enough warrior population. I need to allow my men to breed, and that's not going to happen if they all get killed, as they have been getting killed. But it is possible. I'm going to be wrong. I just haven't done it. I haven't done it. Maybe I should do it. Also, I feel like the Getae are not the faction to establish a trade empire with, because they don't have port settlements in Dacia. Dacia is, like, pretty much landlocked in this game. But like with Athens, I think Athens would probably be like an idyllic faction to do that with, or Rhodes. You know, like a Hellenistic island, or sorry, a Hellenistic civilization with like vast port resources. Maybe I should try to trade empire style run through. Maybe I should do that. Just maximize my diplomacy and stuff. It would be different. It would be very, very different.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Yeah, we just have our Sika skirmishers at the front line, and I just want to cast my javelins as effectively as possible. Of course, I still do need to use my Falxmen, but I'm not gonna have them take the primary engagement, so I'll just like run them around the flanks. You know, normal stuff.
Warriors, move out!
The blue faction from British. I mean, from my understanding, like, all of the barbarian factions, they don't have the same capacity to trade, just because they don't have, like, the buildings that the Greeks or, like, more civilized factions do. Like, even the ports that they have give them less of a trade bonus than the Greeks would have. Like, if you want to do trade empire, I would definitely do a Greek faction.
One of our units
I
has
feel
used
like
all
that's
its
just,
ammunition.
like, the way to maximize it. To maximize your potential as a trader.
Infantry! Weapons ready!
And I don't know how to get a bunch of trade. Well, you just have to improve
One of our
your
units has used all its
relations with
ammunition.
other factions. But yeah, like if you send a diplomat, like you saw there, right? My diplomat got injured. It's more fun as a barbarian. No, that's true, that's true. I mean, yeah, you have to be pretty strategic about who you declare war on and who you don't. It's also way easier if you pick like a big faction too. If you're like a Ptolemaic dynasty or a Seleucid dynasty that has a bunch of settlements, people will just trade with you because they're scared of you. And they see the trade as kind of like a non-aggression pact, so they'll just agree. The other way too is if you capture resources. Like I said, you have lever as the British, right? If you capture more resources, people are more likely to trade with you because then they get their hands on those resources. Like once you have a ton of resources, it's a piece of cake
The enemy
to get
general
trade,
is dead.
unless you're just a treacherous whelp. Treacherous little whelp. But nobody likes. So that's kind of the way. People that have cultural affinity with you are more likely to trade with you, which is a negative of the British, because the British only live in Britain, right? So that is kind of a negative factor. But like, if you're Greek or something, all the Greek factions are more likely to trade with you. If you're a Roman, no one wants to trade with you because you're Latin and no one else is. But if you're like Germanic, the Germanic factions will want to trade with you. If you're like, you know, if you're Celtic, the Celts are more likely to trade with you. That dynamic also exists. In fact, naturally boosts your diplomatic rating, which boosts your ability to trade. So I don't know. Those are my little things, but I get it. Like I've never done like a hard trade run through. I've never even like cared about trade that much in my games. Like I get them. Like I get trade agreements, but I don't really rely on them for money. I use conquests. It's my primary mode. I get into Segestica once again, and this time I'm hoping to maintain control over the settlement at least. Hoping it'll work out like that. It might not, don't get me wrong, but I'm hoping. Yeah, we get 2 of these warriors, and Malva is like devoid of warriors now. Trying to play tall in a game where I control the 2 provinces and have a massive trade empire. Okay, your 2 provinces are like Ireland and the UK, right? At least that's my guess, based on you doing a British playthrough. Am I right? Look at 2 elite spearmen. I mean, that's what would make sense to me.
For the tribe!
Oh, heading out.
Am I at war with the Norians? Yes, I am. So I'm at war with all of Reita at Noricum.
You have the ear of my... Come, come.
Man. Yeah, I just don't know, dude. I just don't know. So I'm gonna be completely real here. I think that I just play defensive with this army. We're gonna get a rebellion somewhere in Panonia, and that'll be a little bit difficult to deal with, but in any case, dude, I'm gonna go. I have stuff to accomplish, things to do. So I'll see you later, but thanks for dropping by, the narrator. Appreciate you like always. Very fun talking to you, and I'll see you later.